If you've been on Fortnite Twitter for the past 6 months, you would know about the big leak we got back in May. This leak would reveal the themes of Seasons 3, 4, and the future themes of Chapter 7 Season 1 and Season 2. But one season stood out as an outlier among the bunch, and that was Chapter 6 Mini Season 2 being the Simpsons themed. And then for the past few months, no matter what happened in Fortnite, we all knew Simpsons Doomsday was upon us. And now on November 1st, the Simpsons season is here. And somehow, it's perfect.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Now, my main concern for the Simpsons season is that they were going to go down the Star Wars route and have an entire Simpsons loot pool. But the problem with an approach like that is that, unlike Star Wars, the Simpsons doesn't have enough weapons to make an entire loot pool. This was an issue that Chapter 5 solved by just going back to Chapter 2. But of course, according to leaks, we wouldn't be going to Chapter 3 this time around. It would be a full Simpsons map. And they managed to solve my worries by barely having any Simpsons weapons in the loot pool. While we have weapons like Mr. Blasty and a few consumables, and then upcoming weapons like the makeup shotgun and Moe's gun, most of the loot pool is just standard Fortnite weapons. The loot pool for the Simpsons season feels a lot like a loot pool you would find in Fortnite Reload. We have weapons like the infantry rifle and a reworked version of the striker AR, while having weapons that are iconic from Reload like the thunder shotgun and tactical shotgun. And this was probably the best approach they could have done for a full Simpsons season, because the weapons they chose to return fit very well together. All of these weapons are balanced, and you never feel forced to take a certain loadout, unlike something like last season where everyone needed a regular revolver to win. But the loot pool also feels varied enough where you can have preferences. Me personally, I love the striker assault rifle, which got reworked to be hit scan this season, the tactical shotgun, which now in the epic and legendary rarity just looks cursed, and a Mr. Blasty, which is a new revolver that has an insane fire rate and insane accuracy. But this isn't the best loadout, because we have weapons like the Ranger and Thunder Shotgun, the Compact SMG, or the Infantry Rifle, which you love or you hate, which means every weapon serves a purpose this season and fits a specific playstyle, which leads to this season having a really good loot pool that feels fun to play with. Along with the basic loot pool, we have bosses, and we kind of had medallions around the map. Jebediah's head is an evolution of medallions, but instead of giving you an overpowered ability that lets you destroy everyone in the lobby, it blocks the first headshot that hits you. Along with that, it takes up an inventory slot, meaning you can't take heals or a mobility item, meaning you actually have to sacrifice something to get the medallion effect, which is a huge improvement from Season 4. Actually having to risk something to get medallions makes the whole medallion system feel way more balanced. You still get the perk of blocking the first headshot, but now you have to give something in return. It's just good. As for the bosses this season, they spawn at a random place on the map and will show up if you're 100 meters away from them. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one. On one hand, it doesn't force the entire lobby to land at one location to get a mythic, which is a good thing. I remember day 1 of this season, everyone was dropping Camp Krusty thinking it would drop Krusty's Mr. Blasty, and then nobody dropped there once they realized it didn't. But on the other hand, it can be incredibly hard to find these bosses, and who gets the mythic just ends up coming down to chance. But I do think this can be fixed by just increasing the range that these bosses appear on the map, so overall, I'll say this is a good thing. Now as for the loot these bosses drop, Marge will drop an enhanced compact SMG with an insane fire rate, and Evil Homer will drop the enhanced tactical shotgun. And ignoring how cursed this gun looks, this shotgun can hit for insane damage. And none of these guns feel overpowered, but they are still noticeably better than their standard counterparts. So most of the time if you find one laying on the ground, you will be picking it up. And then we have Krusty's Mr. Blasty, which is an exotic version of the Mr. Blasty. This gives players balloons upon the first shot being hit. And this thing, just like most mythics, is a big upgrade over the Mr. Blasty, but it's not necessary. The balloon effect can throw players off guard and can help you out in a fight. It is also incredibly funny to use these on cars. But the best thing about this exotic is how it's not necessary, it's just pretty funny. So you won't be completely overpowering everybody without the exotic. Another thing I want to talk about is mobility. Coming off of Chapter 6, 6, where we had the Shockwave Launcher, Chainsaw, Shockwave Hammer, Witch Broom, Flowberry Fizz, Launch Pads, Last Call, and Cars, it feels refreshing to barely have any mobility this season. The main mobility this season are Shockwave Grenades, which are good and should be in every season, the Blinky Fish, which gives you the 0-point effect, and then the slushy item I forgot the name of, but it gives you Slap and Glow Gravity. All of these are pretty balanced mobility, and even Cars got nerfed to finally have noticeable off-road speed this season. And it is so nice to have low mobility this season. Fights feel so much more impactful when you or the enemy can't just run away from a fight. It really just helps to make matches this season feel a lot more rewarding to win. This is also a big reason why you're seeing Ranked have such high players this season. A lot of my worries for the Simpsons season came in from the leaks they would be a 40-player mini Battle Royale. 40 players is such a far stray from Battle Royale that the main Battle Royale playlist being 40 players would make games feel way too quick. But thankfully that leak ended up just being for Blitz Royale, and while the actual Simpsons map would be smaller, it wouldn't be Blitz or even Reload sized.
Springfield
Island?
This season takes place on Springfield Island, a new take on Springfield that keeps iconic locations while making it work in a Battle Royale environment. And compared to the Chapter 6 or even Chapter 1 map, this map is tiny, and now it has 80 players, and I am a big fan of this. Most games on the Chapter 6 map would boil down to just trying to find players to fight. Matches felt like such a slog, and even when you found players to fight, they were either bots or they would run away. Matches didn't feel fun because you weren't fighting to stay alive, you were fighting just to find something to do. Matches on Springfield Island, however, actually feel fun. The small map means you're not going to spend 5 minutes driving around trying to find players, and now with a lot less mobility compared to past seasons, and Cars finally getting their off-road speed nerfed, it's a lot harder for players to run out of a fight. The pacing this season feels a lot more action-packed. A lot of the filler of driving around trying to find players has been cut out, meaning you get constant action. Along with that, I swear they reduced the amount of bots because I feel like a lot more players are real people, making these games feel a lot more satisfying to win. I don't think I've had the feeling of finding out the last player is a bot at all this season. Most of my endgames actually feel like a challenge. As for the locations on this map itself, I love all of them. The cell shading on this map makes it look beautiful, and like you're in an episode of The Simpsons. While there are no bosses forcing you to drop places like Springfield Slurpworks, there are cool things about each location that makes them feel unique. The power plant has a mini game to stop the place from exploding. Camp Krusty is the only location to have a capture point. Town Square has the statue medallion, Burns Manor has more mystery boxes than other places and the Release the Hounds button, and Donut District has the funny donut you can smack around. All of these locations, despite some of them not even being from the show, feel unique, and since it's a reload-sized map, you can land at places like Donut District and not get the Shogun Solitude treatment. Since it's a Simpsons season, of course we have a ton of Simpsons cosmetics, and all of these look amazing. So much attention to detail went into these skins, and all of them looked ripped straight out of the show. A lot of these skins are full of references, and you should use code PURPLE with 2 R's when buying these skins because as of the time recording this, creators get triple earnings this weekend. Also, we have these little goobers. I love them, but I'll go over them some other time. The Simpsons season feels like a love letter to fans of The Simpsons. Tons of references to The Simpsons, and even full-on episodes of The Simpsons that take place in the Fortnite universe. If Epic handled the Simpsons collab in any other way, this would have been Galactic Battle 2.0. The Simpsons season felt like Fortnite Doomsday for a reason, because this collab should have failed, but it didn't. Epic knew how to make the Simpsons season work in Fortnite, and they knocked it out of the park. Not only was this season made with love and care for The Simpsons, but they learned from the Star Wars season, and they made this season great gameplay-wise for people who aren't fans of The Simpsons. Epic didn't force things like a Simpsons-themed loot pool because it wouldn't have worked, but what did work, they knocked out of the park. And they made a season that will go down being as memorable as seasons like OG and Remix peace rather than following the path of galactic battle. And if this Simpsons season is anything to go off of, we are in good hands for Chapter 7. Oh wait, never mind. The entire chapter got leaked.